Taylor, put it on the poll. Is Ryan Day having a better season this season or last season? Which one? I felt so good for him, Bear, because now he could check off all the boxes. He could sleep like a baby at night. You know, he finally beat Michigan.
And I think that poll would probably be the answer. Yes, 100%. Especially in the state of Ohio right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you could see the release, the joy, the anxiety, everything kind of exhaled with that performance on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, defending national champ, you finally beat Michigan, and no one, I don't want to say nobody's going to care if they happen to not repeat, but I think if you tell Ohio State fans that you won the national championship last year, you beat Michigan this year, you're number one or whatever going into the playoff this year, and maybe you don't repeat, I think you'll be okay with that.
He has house money the rest of the season, right?
Correct.
It's house money for him?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Also put this on the poll, Taylor. Do you believe Lane Kiffin when he says God told him to go to Baton Rouge?
You think he has a direct line?
Bear, what'd you make of this? With it shouldn't be surprising to anyone that he left Mississippi, took the job at LSU. There is ego involved there. That is a job that I think Lane Kiffin sees himself. He's worked very, very hard kind of on the rehab tour after USC to get himself into a position where he would be a candidate and the lead candidate for a job like this. So it's not shocking to me that he took the job. It's also not shocking that Ole Miss will not allow him to coach in the playoff. They shouldn't. So what'd you make of this entire situation?
Sorry. I've just got God telling Lane, dude, I've gotten you so many fucking great jobs already. You need another one?
Well, there was the one at FAU.
Calls, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bear.
I need you to go take that Raising Cane's money right now. I'm a big fan of the chicken tenders.
Yes. The G in God stands for gumbo. Taylor, put that on the poll.
Wow, I like it. What you said is pretty much everything that, like, people, again, can't comprehend and put two separate thoughts together, and they both can't be right. He did pretty much what any college head coach would do.
Yep.
And the biggest issue that I had with everything was this thought of, like, people like pounding the table for him to be able to coach in the college. You're going to coach the team that you just see, I'm leaving you, but I'm going to coach. And then all throughout here, I mean, you know what? I'm going to kind of plant the seed in the locker room. Maybe I want to take you with me to LSU. Like, that was the biggest issue I had in all this, was just the thought that Ole Miss was going to let him coach. And
that's why, see, to me, wow. You see, I'm so naive. I just thought, hey, let's just ride this to the end. We'll all have one story we can tell together. We won a national championship on his way out the door. But instead, he's just going to poach people to LSU.
But is it the only bit of leverage they had was the fact that they were already in the playoffs? And does Lane want to finish this off? You can't let Lane go to an SEC school at LSU and coach Mississippi and then leave to LSU after the playoff.
But here's the deal, and this is a just throwing this out there now. And we all know what happened to Florida State a couple of years ago when Jordan Travis had that gruesome injury, and the committee had an opening to leave them out when Alabama won the SEC championship and Texas had beaten Alabama. So you kind of had to take both of them. What is different about, like, this situation? I know it's not players involved, but gone now are the head coach, who's an offensive guy, offensive coordinator Charlie West Jr., co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, and you hire the defensive coordinator of the defense that is the worst defense by far of any of these college football playoff contenders. And that's like, who's running the offense? Like, GAs, consultants that you have on staff? Like, how can you possibly put together a great offensive plan for a potential playoff game? I don't think the committee is going to lead them out. Look, I applaud the AD there for not giving in and not just saying you're fired, because then they'd be on the hook for paying the money. And I'll also applaud him for saying, you know what? Goodbye. We're not letting you coach. You're trying to make us, the school, look like the bad guy for not allowing you to coach.
These opinions seem to be soaked in Kane's bias. I mean,
wait. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Give him a hard time about that.
Well, I got another one for you too.
Yeah.
Like, what last year we heard about Miami shouldn't be in the playoffs because the defense was ass, and that was true.
Yeah.
Like, they were the best offense in the country, and the defense was terribly rated.
Right.
What's the difference with Oklahoma this year? A 10-2 team that's a non-champion, 10-2 non-champion. Offense is horrific.
Yep.
Defense is great.
Yes.
Offense is why? What?
Hang on a second, Bear. Hang on, because we're gonna let you go all you want on Miami and why they should be in. Blah blah blah.
Oklahoma, though.
I'll have my sick bag ready just in case. But I want to get back to Ole Miss for a second, because this is a school that occasionally has a good season, right? I mean, Lane this is his third 10-win season. Hugh Freeze had a 10-win season. Not many, right? David Cutcliffe had one in there. This is an Ole Miss team that needs to embrace their great year. They need to find a way to finish it off instead of saying, "Oh, we'll build this back up right to where we were." There's no evidence that you're going to be able to do that. So why not go ahead and say, "All right, Lane, take us to the finish line here. We know you're not going to be here. We know you're probably going to take some of our kids anyway, because it doesn't matter if you coach them in the last game or not. Let's go ahead and end this, whatever you want to call it, Cinderella story, in a great way. And maybe we can use those vibes to continue our success, as opposed to just cutting it off, guaranteeing, like you said, because there's so many other elements that are missing as well, guaranteeing you're going to probably end the season pretty shittily. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we ruined that experience for everybody. I think you just let them coach.
I think you're setting a bad precedent there.
But for Ole Miss, who cares what the precedent is?
They do.
You get used. You get used. You look like Lane just like spanked your hiney on the way out the door and got everything that he wanted.
Right. He got his cake and he ate it too. That's what you're trying to say, right?
What you said though is something that I don't think people really understand about Ole Miss lately. Like in this era of NIL and the portal and money, like, Ole Miss has got a great NIL program. They had the second or third best roster in the country last year. And oh, by the way, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss managed to lose 3 games last year with that great roster. So that's something that I don't think has been brought up maybe enough, about how Lane has had great rosters before and still hasn't necessarily found his way into the playoff or a conference title at one of these Power 4 jobs, and had an ugly separation everywhere that he's gone.
I have to follow the disgusting look on Mikey A's face, like he's eating. I don't know. Like he just drank like bad milk. What is going on over there, Mikey A?
I mean, you're talking about Ole Miss like there's some juggernaut. Like the best you're going to get is possibly winning it this year. But we're talking about, well, we don't want to let Lane look like he took everything he wanted on the way out. He already took everything he wanted. He just got $12 million a year from LSU, but we're not going to let him coach maybe our only chance at a championship for the next decade, depending on, how many coaching cycles you go through. Because let's be honest, the defensive coach is not going to be the guy going through.
Guys, time out. First off, okay, listen, there's no wrong answer to this. Of course you should ask the players. Of course the players should get what they want. But what the fuck are you guys talking about? The guy took the job at LSU. It's the state right next to Mississippi. He's going to LSU. It's an SEC school. He made this decision. The only leverage Mississippi had was, hey, we're in the playoffs. You can coach in the playoffs. You can win your national championship here. And you want Mississippi to allow him to go to Louisiana State University and coach Mississippi in the playoff?
There's two.
In what world would any employer allow that to happen?
This world. There's 2 endings, Stugatz. One where Ole Miss wins a championship or gets to a championship, whatever, has their best season ever, and we say, thank you, Lane, goodbye. The other situation is Lane shits the bed, and you're like, you see, you idiot, go, get away from here. We'll be fine without you. That's 2 scenarios where it's good for Ole Miss. The third scenario, the one that you're talking about, is where he comes in and takes all of our players. Again, whether he coaches them or not, he's going to have those players available to him.
Congratulations, Ole Miss. You won the little bit of a moral victory there. Congratulations. You sent him packing and won't let him coach in the championship.
Taylor's got really smart thing to say.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, the smart
he has the Mike said something stupid look.
Yes, go ahead.
So this is a couple getting a divorce, and the guy is going to a much better looking partner, and then he's like, hey, I want to come for Christmas. Hey, kids, do you want me to come over for Christmas? And the kids are like, yeah, come for Christmas. And the wife's like, get the hell out of here.
It's about the kids. The
Yeah,
kids are the ones playing for the national championship, not the parents.
No, it's
parents
not
have
about
already
the
done all the work. Is Bear here? Why do we have Bear here? He's not even talking.
Because we're hogging the microphone. I mean, that's
I'm loving it. I'm just being a polite guest, listening to everything.
Bear, is it about the kids or the parents?
Christmas is about the kids.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes.
So it's bowl season.
Yeah, but if your divorced wife wants to come over and hang out with the kids, get the fuck out of here. Like,
correct.
Yes, right. Like, what are you kidding me?
Who else is going to get the bouncy house? Who else is going to get all the other neighborhood kids to come?
You know what?
It's
You
not going to
decided
be
to
a
leave
birthday
me-
party without mom.
Your Christmas day with the kids is the day after Christmas, okay? You decided to leave me. That's it. I mean, get out of here. You guys are out of your minds. Wait, oh, poor Mississippi. Oh, poor kids
were
at
on a break.
Mississippi who are all getting paid millions of dollars to play at Mississippi. Oh, poor rebels. Get the fuck out of here. Lane Kiffin made his decision. His decision was LSU. Would I like to see Lane Kiffin coach those kids and see what
God made
happens?
the decision.
Of course I would. But Mississippi is entitled to say, Lane, you don't want to be here? Get the fuck out.
Correct. They're entitled to making the incorrect decision.
Yep.
The worst
There you go.
decision for their organization.
Well, no, it's not. They made it to the playoffs. I mean, imagine they win it without Lane. How about that?
I can't. I
Yeah,
can't.
I
I
imagine
tried
it.
really hard. I
Imagine
couldn't
it
imagine
won't.
that. I
Right, so
couldn't.
Bear, how do you feel about this idea? I would like to have hired guns as playoff coaches, meaning Mississippi should be able, just for the playoff, to go hire Nick Saban. What do you think?
Yeah. You get the mulligan, exactly. You lost your head coach. You get to bring in anybody you want. Like it's the call a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That budget has to be worked into the buyout. It's like, hey, your buyout's only $40 million because we've got to pay $5 million to the interim that's going to come in to replace you for the bowl game. I like that.
For 1 month of Nick Saban.
Stu, you know Urban Meyer would do it?
He would, and I'd take him. Yep.
Stu, do you know what the M in Mississippi stands for?
What?
Funny.
Mac Brown.
Put it on the poll. Does the M in Mississippi stand for Mac Brown? It does not.
It definitely does not.
Just made this conversation so less interesting.
So Bear, Lane going to LSU. Here's the funny thing.
And by
you
the
know
way,
this about Lane.
before you get there, like it's about to get real at LSU now. I mean, they are going to get whatever player they want, like
Whatever they want, right? He chose a school where they get Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase all at the same time. You can't get that at Mississippi. So what I was going to say about Lane Kiffin is what people I don't think understand about Lane, because he's kind of a renegade and and all that, and he's a great representative of what college football is right now. Lane Kiffin
Great
is
statement.
Yes. But what people don't realize about Lane, he is the son of a legendary coach. He was the youngest head coach in NFL history. He had a lot of pressure put on him by Al Davis, taking that job, a pillar job in the NFL at that time, Raiders head coach. And then he goes to Tennessee and he does and then USC is a failure, right? And he does the whole rehab tour. He's coordinator at Alabama. He's the FAU coach. He coached in fucking Boca Raton, okay? But because he's the son of an NFL coach, some of this old school stuff means something to Lane. People might say, hey, you can build it just as quick at Mississippi today as you can at LSU. Lane Kiffin wanted to be the next head coach at LSU because that is something he dreamed about growing up with Monty Kiffin as his dad, being the head coach at one of those staple SEC schools like Alabama, like Georgia, like LSU. 4 years ago, that man was coaching at Boca Raton. And if I told him then, hey, you're going to be the head coach at LSU at Baton Rouge 5-6 years from now, he would have laughed you out of the room. Then the opportunity presents itself to him, and Lane wants that job because Lane has wanted that job his entire life.
So you're saying the Gators never had a chance?
No.
Should have told me a long time ago. I wouldn't have held out hope for him.
Bear, is that fair? Like, Lane?
I thought he wanted Florida, and I think he did. But then LSU came open, and LSU just basically came over the top, and they brought the family in and wined and dined them. And I think there was a bit of the family part there where I think the kid Knox wanted to go to high school in Baton Rouge as opposed to Gainesville. I think so.
Right. Yes.
But bring it back to the kids. Christmas is about the kids.
It is about the kids, but I mean, this is a broken family. Wait, so you're telling me if you got a divorce, you're going to let your wife come back and enjoy? If you left your wife, do you think your wife is going to allow you to come back on Christmas Day and
Fuck
steal
no.
any of the?
Good God. Hell
You
no.
not only did you leave your wife, you left your wife for another woman that she absolutely despises.
Wow.
Right. Yes.
Taylor's
yes.
already got Stu Gatz disease where he can't say the singular of woman. It's women all the time. By the way, the AD and the head coach of a football team, not married. Never once do they say till death do us part. They only say, well, I guess the head coach is bullshit and say, oh, I'm here forever. But come on, let's be real.
My dream job. I've always wanted to stop.
Can I ask you a question, Bear? Because we're all talking about the winner. I would like to talk about the beautiful runner-up. Is it John Sumrall? I don't know his first name, but the Gators' new head coach. I don't know anything about him. Please tell me that we got a good one.
Yeah, no, you did. And again, I think there's going to be a little bit of a knee-jerk mischaracterization down there because of Billy Napier coming from the Sun Belt and Summerall, kind of a group of five guy. But the guy who has SEC roots at Kentucky was a really good assistant for Mark Stoops at Kentucky there. A guy who has done a hell of a job at Tulane and very easily could wind up in the college football playoff. He's got I think people are going to compare he and Napier. I think Summerall's got a little bit more of a red ass to him, and I think that will do well. I think he'll be okay there, and I think he probably gets the model of SEC football right now, having been there. And again, Napier had to deal with Saban as well.
Right.
But I think bringing in it's interesting too, because the way that Tulane and Ole Miss have Tulane and Florida have kind of handled this is a bit different, because it is a G5 school, and Florida is saying, okay, well, we'll bring the GM in. The GM can handle signing day and the start of the portal, and we're going to let Summerall coach the one game on December 19th or 20th if he's there for that.
Right.
And, but I think Florida did okay there.
Red ass, can help me out with that one. Does that just mean he is just yells a lot more? Is a lot more
I think there's a bit more. I think there's a bit more fire, a bit more energy, a bit more
generating from the ass.
There may be disciplinarian accountability. I think that would look in the Webster's dictionary under red ass, and you'll probably find that.
Under coaching, apparently, Billy Napier had none of these things, and you could tell by the product on the field.
Bear, just with Mississippi, is that a coveted job? Who do you see Mississippi turning to here?
They hired Pete Golding. He's their permanent coach.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they named him the permanent replacement.
That's stupid.
No search, and that's the thing that I have an issue.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna just hire the defensive coordinator of a defense that has been like terrible.
Now, do you think Lane should have coached, Stu?
No, I still don't think he should have coached, but I do think Mississippi is a lot dumber than I thought they were about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is what I don't get. Like, it all reeks of just like continuity and stability to try and show the playoff selection committee, no, we got this under control. We still have a coach from the year, Joe Judge, who's been here all year. He's still going to be here too, and we're going to piecemeal it together.
The former head coach of the Giants?
Correct. Joe Judge is an assistant there. Absolutely.
Wait, if this Mississippi head coach loses their first playoff game, he's going to get fired. There's no way they're keeping him around. I mean, come on. I know they signed him. They'll do a buyout and get the fuck rid of him.
Why they just didn't do an interim tag on him is amazing to me. Like, I don't get it all, because it would be a coveted job, because they do have resources there.
Right.
It's an SEC job of a team that just went to the playoff.
Yes, correct.
You get players there. Like, why they settled on him, I don't know.
As a bonus, he's already got a mugshot out there because he got a DUI back in 2022 when he was with Alabama.
Right. Do you think perhaps they settled on him because Brian Kelly was just lurking right outside the building, just peering through a window, and they're like, no.
I don't think anybody's knocking on BK's door anytime soon.
It is odd that guy is being offered none of these jobs. Like, he's going to have to go to like USF or something like that.
Yeah, like I say, he can do the coach at Art Briles' rival school in New Mexico there.
He can come to FAU. I mean,
FAU.
I do feel worse about Ole Miss hearing that Joe Judge is just going to get an increased role.
Taylor, we need you in the college football playoff selection room.
Who takes the Penn State job?
I have heard it's not going to be Bob Chesney. I think Bob Chesney is ticketed to UCLA.
Wow.
It's interesting. I follow like the Kalshi stuff quite a bit when it comes to the coaching circles. And a couple of days ago, Kalani Sitake's name popped up there at like near the top of the percentage wise to be the next Penn State head coach. And that's interesting because I don't think it's been out there that he is interviewed for the job. And to see his name up there leads me to believe that there's probably someone out there that knows something. And there may be a connection there. So that's a name that I think I would watch. We saw Pat Fitzgerald get the Michigan State job, so you know it's not going to be him. What happens if Kalen DeBoer loses the SEC championship game and they either get bounced right away from the playoff or don't make the playoff? Maybe Kalen DeBoer is someone who gets a nice soft landing spot there. I've heard Brian Dable's name out there, but Sitake I think is a name to watch at Penn State.
Bear, what does the committee do if 7-5 Duke wins the ACC?
Great question.
What would you
Please
do,
let it
Bear?
happen. Please let it happen.
How sad are you if that happens?
How sad am I?
We're all sad. We all lose, but
Yeah,
anyway.
everyone loses.
Not Manny Diaz.
It's embarrassing that the ACC didn't have some type of tiebreaker in there about like college football playoff spots going into the week or one-loss record to kind of prevent this from happening.
Yes. Please let Manny Diaz get to a playoff before Mario Cristobal. Please let it happen. If there's a God, Lane.
No, we don't want that. Yeah. But Duke, I think would be left out, right? I mean, if you look at like the Sagarin ratings and FPI and SP Plus, all like Duke is way down there, and both James Madison and Tulane ranked higher.
Right.
And then so like the college football playoff, you get the two. It's not like the four, but it's the five highest rated conference champions, and there's a chance that both North Texas and Tulane winner there and JMU could be ranked higher than Duke. And that would mean that the ACC champion would not be guaranteed a spot. Duke would not get in. Now, Miami could still make it as an at-large, but the five champion spots that are guaranteed would go to the SEC, Big 12, Big 10, American, and what? Sun Belt, right?
Yeah. Did you just say if there's a chance, if Kalen DeBoer, if Alabama loses the SEC championship game, that DeBoer would be let go?
I don't think he'd be let go, but I think there would be a ton of pressure on him.
Okay.
And I think that it would not be a good environment down there. And I think it would be a situation where maybe if Penn State says, hey, do you want to deal with this? You just got to the SEC championship game and lost,
right,
and they want to run you out of town and they hate you. Like, come here. Like, maybe that's something that he thinks about.
Do you think Lane would leave LSU to go to Alabama?
Yes. Yes. I think he would.
So do I.
That would be amazing.
I think he would.
I spoke to God again.
Exactly. I spoke to God and Pete Carroll and Nick Saban. And
Do you get that buyout if you haven't coached the game?
Bear, I'm looking on FanDuel. Miami is plus 650 to make the playoffs.
Way too high of a price.
Really?
Fire any yes on that.
I would, Bear. I would tell you this: it's impossible if you're trying to gauge who the best teams in the country are, even if you're just doing a 10-team playoff. Okay, it'd be hard. Just if you've watched the Canes start to finish, it'd be hard for me if I'm part of that committee not to select the Hurricanes. It would just be hard.
It feels like the college football pollsters and the playoff committee have kind of normalized this Notre Dame being ranked ahead of them. Like it's asinine. It's ridiculous that Notre Dame continues to be ranked ahead. Miami's biggest crime here is the fact that they lost a conference road game in overtime 3 days before the first college football playoff rankings release.
Right.
Pollster and committee logic.
That sounds a lot better than they lost to SMU.
They lost to two unranked teams. There is what they did. So
Okay, but the two 8-win teams, 8-4. That's
I understand.
Season.
Right.
People act like they lost to Syracuse and Boston College, which they didn't. Like in the committee and the pollsters' minds, Miami would be better off had they lost to Notre Dame and not beaten a good team in that big non-conference game at the start of the year, and then beat SMU. Like that's the logic. Like it's like this ridiculous. I brought up the analogy before. It's people pollsters like treat this like a highlight game. Like it's what you lose. Oh, you got to go all the way to the back of the line. It's not that. You reassess everything every single week. So that's the thing that I keep, I guess, thinking and holding pollsters in the committee in too high of a regard, thinking that logically they're ultimately going to figure this out. Hopefully they will, either this week or next week. But to get back to what Taylor was talking about with that price,
Yeah.
it is not that long of a shot. Like BYU is going to lose to Texas Tech, and that gets rid of them as a buffer.
Right.
Alabama wins the SEC, and it's basically a toss-up game. They go up over Notre Dame, and then you got Miami and Notre Dame right next to each other. And then that is the committee, we dare you to leave Miami out, having beaten them head-to-head.
Right.
Like this whole like Notre Dame's platform is based on the fact that two things. Number one, we have two close losses to two good teams.
They're 4 points away from a perfect season. That's it.
And what's Miami for having a perfect season? Right. And then number two is, we're better now than we were then. Okay, well, Miami is better now than they were then as well. Miami in that game had, 8 new defensive starters, a new defensive coordinator. Since then, Malachi Toney was playing in his first college game, has become one of, if not the biggest all-purpose threat in college football. Pringle has turned into their go-to back. Like, Miami's better now, too.
Yes.
It's ridiculous that people can't grasp this, and you got people out there like my colleague Joel Klatt putting his rankings out, and he has them behind Texas and Vandy. Like, what are you doing, Joel?
That's right. Yeah, you go after Joel. That's right.
Can I give you my best case for the Hurricanes?
Hold on, he was ripping Joel. I mean,
no, I think he took a deep breath. I think he was ready to take a breath. I think they just had their best win. I think the win at Pitt is not just something you throw away and say, oh, they had to do that in order to get there. It's an impressive win against a good team when you saw that Miami on the road isn't normally great, right? And so they did exactly what you asked them to do. And now you look back at Notre Dame's best win, and
well, so guys, we're making this a Miami Notre Dame thing. I don't think it needs to be. That's the problem. I think, listen, if you're the committee, you want both of those schools and those brands in your NCAA college football playoff. You just do. The team you don't want there is the Power Five in Oklahoma. That's let's be honest. If you want to get one of them out, Oklahoma is the team that I would get out. But Miami is justified, and so is Notre Dame, by the way.
That's the dirty little secret.
Miami beat Pitt, by the way, better than Notre Dame beat Pitt.
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, Pitt cared about that game too, unlike Pat Narduzzi saying, "Oh, we don't care about the game against Notre Dame."
But Bear, if Miami played Oklahoma on a neutral field, who would be favored? Miami. Right? Miami. Right.
Miami. Yes. And you hit on the dirty little secret right there. Like, Miami and Notre Dame should both be in. Correct. They're better than that glut of SEC, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Alabama. They're power rated higher than all of them.
Yes.
Both of them. Like, that's this whole committee love affair type thing with the SEC. Like, are you really going to put 4 of the 7 at-large bids in the playoff are going to go to the SEC?
Can I make this a more macro question for you, Bear? Because this is the only reason why this argument matters. Can the Canes win 4 games in the playoffs?
Yes.
And win the championship? You think, based on what you've seen so far, they can do that?
Yes, right now the team has. Yes, they absolutely can.
And so that's the only reason why this argument matters. Because if they go in and do that, then forever the who's number 12 argument lives. But if they go in and poop the bed in the first game, and it's like, oh, it's Cristobal against a good team, they lost a 1-score game as they usually do, then it's just like we never really have to have these arguments again.
I almost wonder if the committee in the back of their mind, when they ranked Miami at 18, whatever it was in that first round, they were like, they're gonna lose again. They always lose in November. We don't got to worry about them. And now it's like, oh shit, they actually shoved it right back in our face and it just dominated the last month of football. But no, I think Miami and Notre Dame both would be capable of winning 4 games. I think Ohio State would be capable of winning 4 games. I don't think Oklahoma or Ole Miss or Alabama, the way they've been playing, can.
Wow.
Georgia maybe potentially could. Oregon, I think, could. Indiana potentially could. But I think half of the college football playoff field is going to be drawn dead.
I missed the 14 playoff.
So do I.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
I miss
Although
two
would like to
teams.
see
I mean, they're just
Fernando
letting
versus
newspaper
Swift.
writers decide who the fuck plays in the game. That's what I
Back in the day.
Hey, Bear.
Tracking down Al Luganbill late at night
Oh,
to get the
Jesus.
final coaches poll vote.
I mean, Cody used to have so much power.
I was an AP voter once.
Hey, Bear. Could Texas?
What? No.
You don't
God,
think they could?
No.
I don't think they belong in. I'm just wondering if you think they could go in and win. 4
No
games.
chance.
No, I don't. I don't think they're good enough. That was a win on their home field. It is a small underdog again against a team that A&M we haven't talked about. They had the win in South Bend as well, but people were always a little gun shy on the Aggies and weren't really willing to go all in on them because they didn't play a single team from the SEC with the winning conference record until they went to Austin and lost.
Right.
And that's one of the things with the playoff now and conference expansion has just destroyed it from a compare. How are you going to compare team A to team B to team C because of these schedules are so imbalanced? I mean, look at Virginia. Virginia didn't play a team that finished in the top 5 spots below them in the ACC, and now they're in the conference championship game.
Right.
These conferences are bigger than both the AFC and the NFC in the NFL, and they have 3 rounds of games to determine who the best team in the conference is. So, like the conference realignment.
Wow, conference playoffs. What a great idea, Bear. More playoffs. Let's do that.
I hate it. I hate it. That's the one thing you'll never hear me like go to bat for. Like if Miami were to get left out, you're not going to hear me say, we need to go to 16 or 24. No, it was just the process of getting to the 12. I'm with you. I liked 4 as well. But it does feel like a rare year where there are teams ranked a little bit lower in the standings would have a legit chance to win the national title.
Bear, if Duke wins the ACC championship, ACC champion will have lost to Tulane and UConn. I mean.
Oh, I know. And I oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And in that scenario, ACC doesn't get in, right?
You can't take a team from that conference.
You can take Miami. You can take Miami as that one.
I don't think
people know Miami is the best team in the
They
conference.
lost to UConn, the champion. Lost to UConn.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they did. They couldn't stop them. They allowed like 40-something points.
Not in basketball. They lost to them in football. I mean,
yes.
they lost. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And they did lose to them in basketball, too, in 1999.
Of course, you know that. Yes.
I had UConn for my lungs on the money line that night. Beautiful down in Tampa. Oh, it was great.
The memories.
Yes. Memories.
You ever have that moment during the holidays where you think you've nailed the perfect gift and then realize you definitely did not? Yep. Been there. Last year, I bailed on the guesswork and sent Omaha Steaks instead. And let me tell you, that was the first time my family texted me before opening the box just to say how excited they were. Whether you are sending an unforgettable gift or treating yourself to everyday perfection, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, comfort meals. Honestly, everything they ship shows up looking like you planned ahead, even if you definitely did not. I just made their filet mignons the other night. Simple cast iron sear, little butter based, and they were insanely tender. I love them. You can taste the quality, and the variety is ridiculous. I'm eyeing their burgers and some of that apple tart for my next order. Right now is the time to jump in because their cyber sale is happening. It's happening right now. 50% off site-wide, plus an extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. And because you are listening, you also get an extra $35 off with promo code God Bless at checkout. That's God Bless, all capitalized, at checkout. Orders placed by 6 p.m. Eastern, even ship the same day. Send the magic of the holidays. Send an experience. Send Omaha Steaks. Save big with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their cyber sale. And use promo code GODBLESS at checkout for an extra $35 off. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code God Bless. Terms apply. See site for details. What do you make of Texas people saying don't penalize us because we went to Ohio State week 1? Get the fuck out of here.
I get the argument. Now,
I don't.
Imagine this. Imagine actually winning one of those games and not getting credit for it like Miami. But look, Texas, how can you possibly have them ahead.
You can't.
You can't. You got blown out at Florida.
Yes.
Florida finished 4-8, man. Like, come on. I get Sark's argument in the greater grand scheme of things, where, hey, if we're going to be penalized for taking and losing a game like this, why are we going to bother playing them? And I get that point of view, and that's something that the sport is going to have to address and take into account.
Right.
But don't lose to Florida in a pretty much non-competitive game.
Are we done with this University of Miami commercial? Because I feel like we're just shitting on other teams and just saying UM definitely needs to be in there. Down with
Oregon.
Oklahoma. Down with
I think
Texas.
Oregon. I released my power ratings before, my top 10 that should be up on foxsports.com. I got Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Oregon 3, Texas Tech 4.
Right.
How about that?
Indiana's a weird team. It feels like no one thinks they can win the national championship.
I don't think they can. And I know Izzy's in the bag there for Fernando Mendoza, but like,
so deep.
It's amazing that he's the Heisman favorite. Like, you look at some of his games against the better defenses they played, like they have been great. So we'll see. I think that. Diego Pavia has gotten a lot of run the last couple of days. Jeremiah Love has gotten some run. Then he had the unfortunate injury in the first half, and they pulled him for good, safe, smart, obvious reasons.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't think Pavia had a chance before last week, and that now it seems he's gaining a lot of support.
Indiana plus 5.5 this weekend against Ohio State on FanDuel right now.
I laid 3.5 with FanDuel a couple of weeks ago when they first posted it, anticipating the line to go up. So.
If you're the committee, you try to do this thing. First off, the group of five, like, let's get rid of that. Okay, we need bigger brands. I don't need a James Madison. I don't need a Tulane, because one of those means less Miami's, less Oklahoma's, less Notre Dame's. Okay, so do you agree with that? By the way, like, enough with the small guy.
Yeah,
okay,
look, I get it. If we're looking at a team like Boise last year, who was a top 10 team,
right,
or some of the ECU teams of the past, or the Cincinnati team, like, if you're a legit top 10 team and you've got to win, you've got a resume, but North Texas, come on.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to talk about teams who can't win 4 playoff games? All of those teams. Yes. Right.
Yeah, you can't give them an automatic spot.
Right.
Every year. It's just, there has to be, if there's a threshold of qualification for all of the other teams, there should be a threshold of qualification for those teams as well.
I would have so much fun.
No one wants to see Tulane as a 21-point underdog to Autzen, or North Texas head over to Lubbock as a 20-something point dog either, and see 2 blowouts. This isn't the NCAA where you get Cinderella runs.
Right. Give me what I want to see. I'm the consumer. I'm the fan. Give me Miami, Notre Dame, first playoff game. Boom.
If the committee was smart, that's what they do.
I know they should.
That's all the. If you are in the school of thought that, like, this is rigged and it's a TV show, and at the end it's just going to play out like that way, if they pop up Miami, Notre Dame, there's the evidence that you need right there.
Yes.
You know what I need? Is I need less Fernando Mendoza hate. This Diego Pavia that you seem to love for the Heisman, 149 total yards against Missouri. Total yards, that includes rushing against Missouri. He had another stinker, 160 yards against LSU, and that's not a great defense.
The larger point is there's no great player in college
Fernando
football.
Mendoza hatred coming out of the bear over there.
Yeah.
But believe me, I am not a Diego Pavia fan.
Okay, sounded like it.
No.
I'm just like, I can have a personal opinion on someone and a family, and I can have a legitimate, neutral, covering the sport opinion on someone that, as a player, and his impact on the sport.
Well, Fernando's my family, so please stop taking shots at him.
He's had a great year. He's had a great year.
There, you're happy now? Jesus Christ.
Bill Connolly put out
Heisman year, I would say.
Bill Connolly put out a couple of numbers in his recent column to kind of make the case that Mendoza's season hasn't necessarily. What was he? Was he 11-27 the other night against?
Now I'm going to have to hate on this Bill Connolly person. You guys are making this difficult.
I'm sorry.
Who are you rooting for this weekend,
Bill Connolly, ESPN SP Plus.
Who are you rooting for? Who do Canes fans need to be rooting for this week? They need to root for Alabama to lose to Georgia, right?
You're rooting for Alabama and Texas.
BYU. Yeah.
You're rooting for Alabama and Texas Tech.
It's unfair what you did to BYU, by the way. You just assume they're going to lose to Texas Tech. That's a good football team, man.
Stop, boy, because they got their ass kicked in the first meeting. That game could have been a lot worse than 29-7. Tech had like 3 field goals of like 30 yards or short. It was bad. They had like 240 yards in the game. That game's not going to be that game will not be competitive.
It was
Stu,
29-7.
Stu, last week we said, what do Canes fans need to root for? And not only did I think every result go against Canes fans, we didn't even consider Cal upsetting SMU.
Oh my God! Right?
I sent no full disclosure. I sent Stu and Mikey my picks
did.
for last week.
Let's see.
One of the picks on there.
Yep.
Cal plus 13.5.
Yep, he did.
Let's see.
JKS. JKS is going to be on a playoff team next year.
Yeah,
see the other picks.
maybe one in South Florida.
He did have that. He had Cal plus 13.5. Yeah.
FAU.
He had Miami -7. That was a cover.
Yep.
LSU plus 10. Did that cover?
Yes, they should have won the game.
Oklahoma State plus 14.
Cover.
Look at you. UCF plus 17.
It led 14-0 as a 17-point dog and didn't cover.
No,
Nope.
not a cover.
Didn't cover. Just
And then
Make sure we
Wyoming,
get the headline.
Wyoming took a 7-0 lead and didn't score the rest of the game.
Okay, so you had 2 losses.
And by the way, Fernando Mendoza was 8 of 15 for 117 and 2 tutties. They won the game 56-3 against Purdue. He
Allow
didn't-
me, Bear. You know what the F in Fernando Mendoza stands for? Fuck you. Stugatz here. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. Listen, support the people that support this show, and no one has supported us more than our friends at FanDuel. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Must be 21 and older and present in select states or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY New York.